right, I am live on here. No fancy intro or anything like that. This is not a regular show by any means. Just an impromptu show coming up here, shooting the shit, talking with y'all, seeing who all wants to jump on here, and get a couple things to kind of discuss over. But other than that, I'm having a good hair day. Thought I'd get up here and kind of show it off a little bit. I mean, if you want me to, I can take my shirt off and show you the good hair day. My back hair is actually, no, never mind. Anyway, we're not going there. Uh, oh, we're having fun. All right, so go ahead and let me know in the comments if you can see and hear me. I'd certainly appreciate that. This is being shown on Skynet, on Twitter, and on YouTube. So if you're on any of those, let me know you can see and hear me. I'd certainly appreciate that. And we can kind of continue from there. Let me know I'm not just talking to myself, because I do that enough when I'm up here as well. So the main thing that I want to kind of discuss today is I'm kind of be going over some things that we're looking at with the shows and some things that we're wanting to evolve and kind of change up a little bit. And hey, we got Brett in here. What's up, Brett? Appreciate you being here. Just kind of going over some things. It's just a impromptu discussion, nothing to it. I'm excited about Friday, of course, with the milestone show. I'm not going to lie. I'm barely getting any sleep over that thing and getting real excited about that. I still got to fix my hair for the show. That's a whole big ordeal that we're putting all together. But it's a lot more than that. It has to do with more of the evolution of what's going to happen after the show and after all of this is done. With me coming back and getting back into this and really getting my foot in here and getting the consistency going again, it's really lit a fire underneath me to the point where I want to change some things up and move with this and get it where it's got some forward motion. I've always talked about the waves of change. If you throw a pebble into a pond, you get the ripple effect there. If you throw enough pebbles into that same pond that other people are throwing pebbles as well, you get the waves of change. And that is incredibly true. So I'm planning on throwing a few more pebbles of my own out there and seeing what's going to happen. That being said, we kind of, let me see. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Don't mention his name 3 times. We've already been over that. It's like Beetlejuice. You just can't get rid of him after that. I love my peeps. No, the shows are going to have pretty much the same layout-ish, and then not. I'm kind of being vague on purpose with that. Hell of a Show is actually going to have a kind of a new look to it. You're starting to notice a little bit of a switch where it's not an infomercial at 2 a.m. where I'm up here just constantly going, but wait, there's more, and just keep going into it. We're trying to do things a little bit different. Greetings from the pulpit. Nope, not going there. Can't say it. Not going to do it. Sean, I appreciate you being here. And yeah, that's the other one we don't want to do. Either one of those actually 3 times, and they're and if we get both of them up here, this show is just going to crap big time. But no, the main thing is we're just going to talk about some of the show differences that we're having up on here. You've already seen a little bit of a switch on there to where it is no longer, like I said, a 2 a.m. infomercial. We're actually shooting more for a 1 a.m. because you don't want to catch some people awake. But I'm also trying to make it where it's more fun and proving that my guests are actually human and not robotic AI entities that are out there. My apologies to any that I have on the guest list that are robotic AI entities. We're going to get past that and find you out whenever I get you on the show. But it's all about having fun and getting to know the people that are up here and making it fun for everyone else that's out there. I love shooting from the hip and having questions ready that the guests have no idea what I'm going to ask, and then seeing the look on their face, especially whenever it goes completely away from what they came up there to talk about. But we have a lot of fun. We give them the time that's they're going to have up there on Hell of a Show, and we're planning on having even more fun with some other things that we're having involved in that. As we speak, Lady Trish is messaging me different things about some ideas for some games and things we can play on there to have some fun and make it interactive with the audience as well. So again, we're trying something different on there. My question is, Because I'm actually branching out and I'm not doing just the comic industry anymore, it's going to be, yeah, no, we'll save that one for Unscripted After Dark. We'll discuss about that too. But my question is moving forward and getting to where I'm not strictly interviewing just entities from the comic industry and getting out into the pop culture industry and beyond. Who are some of the guests that you can think of that I would actually be able to get on the show and be able to have on here? We all know, a grail of mine is to have Keanu Reeves on here, but that'll be a pre-recorded and not live because we'll break the internet that way. But it's mainly because of his focus on positivity, because everyone knows I'm big on positivity myself, and being able to interview that man would be amazing to be able to discuss that in the 20 or 30 minutes that I'd be given time to do so. But, and me. And me meaning I need to get you on here, or what are we saying exactly? And, yeah, Sean, I know you're available. I know you are. We will definitely get you back on and discuss about your other creative process you've got going right now. I keep seeing more and more that you're posting about I Drive for Cerber, so I'm looking forward to that. And Thomas says it's actually my brother. Actually, my brother who? Because if we're talking about Keanu Reeves, then we need to have a chat. Brett, you're definitely going to be a guest on here at some point here soon. I'm going to figure that out. I'm actually scheduling up for November and moving into the schedule for December as well. But I am trying to make it where it is no longer based on current campaigns and things like that that are going on. I have ways of getting around that now, which is excellent, and it's working out very well. I have pre-recordeds that I do once a week. If you have a project or something like that that you want to have that I can talk about on there and very much focus on that, we can do a pre-recorded instead of a live. And that way we get your information out there and still have a good show. But I also have the option of we're doing a thing where I can actually barter for, you give me a copy of the book and maybe a couple of copies to throw into giveaways for the show. And then not only will I go ahead and get you on a special pre-recorded show, but I will rush it out to make sure it's done in time and all to be put onto your campaign in a shortened form with highlights on there, and also give you a pull quote on what I know about the project that's going on. So it's just kind of a way to help with the exposure on there, but not to the way to where I've got 97 interviews in 1 week to do. I have to cap it off at 95. I'm sorry, I have to. I'm human that way and just have to be that way. But with Hell of a Show, that's the focus. That's the way we're looking at things going with that. Aside from that, of course, we have Unscripted After Dark, which we've already kind of touched on just briefly, and by touching on things, that's a good one to lead into, because Unscripted After Dark is coming. The first show, the debut show of this remastered style Unscripted, is going to be this Saturday, the 15th, at 10 p.m. on YouTube only. It will be, if you've seen Unscripted in the past or you've heard about it, it's been an off-the-chain show that I do where you can let your hair down, have some fun. There's, laughing to the point of tears. All that will still very much be in there, I assure you. But now we're branching it out where it is with the risque industry, and that's not just the comic industry portion of that is going outside of that box as well, trying to bridge that gap and get some more people involved. And see, we're on Skynet, Sean. I can't comment too much on this because then they're just looking at a way to go ahead and lock me down before I get to my 100th show, and that would just make me cry to the point of all kinds of tears falling down that y'all just don't want to see. It's ugly whenever I cry like that. We don't want that. But Unscripted After Dark is coming, give you a chance to have conversations just like that, Sean. We need to get you on there to have a discussion as well. The other shows that I'm doing, of course, that I'm having a blast with is What's in Your Watch List. I just recorded a few of those today as well. Right now, keeping track of She-Hulk, Attorney at Law, Andor, and Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power. And it's just an opinionated, what I'm seeing by watching these things, almost like I'm watching them without having any kind of background history to any of them at all. as if we're having brand new fans coming into this and giving them a shot to see if they like it. Plus having fun with it, of course, because you have to have fun with these things. And then we have the new show that I've been doing and that I'm working on as well, which we're doing the book reviews that my fiance, Lady Trish, so aptly named Between the Covers, because she likes seeing me giggle every time I say it, because that's the name of the book review show, is Between the Covers. And we're now going to be branching out to where instead of me doing the reviews alone on that, she and I both will be reading the books and both doing side-by-side reviews whenever we record that, so we have different perspectives on there. And for those of you that don't know, she and I are officially engaged to be married next year. So if you want to find out if that engagement actually sticks after, doing a show like this where we actually have opinions where, they're side by side, but, since I can never be right, but I'm always right, and she knows it, she just doesn't want to admit it, then, those are things where you just want to kind of subscribe and watch and never miss an episode so you can see what's going on. What do you put on here? They need to loosen their grip or you're likely to explode. I agree. And that's why I'm shifting a lot of things over to YouTube. It gives me a lot more freedom over there to do so. And you'll see that after the milestone show, you're going to see a major push to try to get everybody to herd over there to YouTube to watch and interact over there. I have a lot more freedom and a lot more ways to do that I can cover myself and not have to worry about it. I'm too pretty to go to jail, whether it's Facebook or otherwise. And oh wow, look at Blast from the Past on here. Trish, what's up? I have not seen you in forever. Just kind of talking about the shows and what we've got planned up, what's coming up, and asking for some opinions out there on what y'all want to see, who y'all want to see, if there's any kind of topics that y'all want to talk about or have discussed, things of that nature, and then going from there. But Unscripted After Dark is going to be our risque-oriented show, and it is not strictly based on comics. I cannot stress that enough. So we're going to have other industries involved, shall we say. And again, can't say too much on there because the AI is all over me on that one. I think they're listening through my Google and Amazon as we speak right now, too. Jason is awesome. Yeah, if you're talking about this back here, I absolutely love this back here. That's the mini emojis of Jason, shall we say. But appreciate y'all being on here, Mike and Trish. Back in full swing with these shows, having a blast, expanding them and evolving them as we go along, because I don't want to get to the point where it gets so stale. It's the same show every single time, but with a different guest. So we want to make it where it's more interactive with the audience and more interactive with the guest, and make it where they actually, they're begging to come back basically and have more shows, which is good, great, and wonderful. And as long as I'm able to schedule it in, I have no problem with that whatsoever. But the shows are we're trying to have a lot more fun, trying to get a lot more laughs on there. We will get the information across. We will get projects shown. We'll get information that needs to be out there, education, whatever needs to be done. But it's all about having fun, because that's all this industry mainly is about, is, having that element of fun in there to where you can kind of get away from reality and enjoy something different for the time being. So Hell of a Show is definitely getting that feel on there. Unscripted After Dark is definitely going to have that feel with the risque industries involved in there, with a lot of education involved. I cannot stress that enough either. There's going to be a lot of education, which is nice, because if there's some things that you're not familiar with, you will be very familiar with. So be careful what you ask for, because it will be answered, I assure you. And then, of course, what's in your watch list that I've been doing, which is the media review show. Not only on the TV shows that are on there through streaming, but also some movies that are on there. I just did one on the Hellraiser 2022 and had a blast on that. I've still got a box that I had come in that I'm still trying to figure out how to open up. It's gold and got like circles and stuff on it. I'll figure out how to open the thing. Lights flicker every time I try to mess with it. I don't know what's up with that. But had a lot of fun with that review, with other things that are out there. We're having a blast with this. And again, just to go ahead and let everybody know, I am incredibly excited about this milestone show. It has been a rough road getting here, because I've had a lot of hiccups in the process. But I definitely want to start up if y'all want to start a hashtag, I strongly recommend doing it. Put up there hashtag thank you Trish. as in Lady Trish, as in my Trisha, as in my fiance. Because if it wasn't for her, I don't know if I would have gone ahead and made it to 100, because there comes a time whenever life will kick you in the nether so hard that you don't want to get back up. And I was being kicked pretty hard on that, and not just on the show's portion of it, but some other things as well. Ask me no questions, I tell you no lies. Exactly. Don't ask, don't tell. Ask me no questions, I tell you no lies. There's all kinds of little segments we can put in there to kind of cover ourselves. But I'm telling you right now, if it wasn't for Lady Trish, I would not be here being so excited about all this. I would also not be here so incredibly excited about the fact that she and I are engaged to be married. We discussed about this several times, saying that it would not happen. She got out of, being married once, and it was not a good one for her by any means. Won't get into any details there. I've been in 2 of them, both of them, no. So we were pretty much done, and it just, some things are right. Some things are meant to be. Some things have that destiny tag to them. I don't really believe in it, or I didn't before, and I never have believed in anything stronger than I do now. So I love her more than I do anything else. In a strong second is the industry that I am involved in with all of this, and everyone that's here as well. Don't feel bad. I gotta love her first. I mean, she may be watching this later. Of course, I gotta love her first. Priorities. And yes, exactly. Get knocked down, I get up again. That is a big one that's on there. There was it was in Rocky Balboa that there was one particular segment on there where he was getting on to his son about the fact that it doesn't matter how many times you get knocked down. You get knocked down, you're going to keep getting knocked down. That's never going to stop. Getting knocked down is not the hard part. The hard part is every time you get knocked down, you keep standing back up. It's not a matter of standing back up for myself and doing that just for myself on this. Main reason that I came back and started doing this and really got into this and gave the same passion that everyone else is giving the passion and the works they do is because I'm doing this for y'all. I've done this for y'all since I started, and that's the way I want to keep doing this, is keep putting that spotlight on the indies and on the creatives that are out there. And now I'm starting to work on bridging the gap to where we can now expand out of that one circle that we're in. Sorry about using the hashtag stuff. Oh, crap, that's twice I've used his name. 3 times, and it's bad. But we are going to expand on that circle and make sure that other target markets have the ability to go ahead and get involved as well and see what's happening within all of this. So a lot of things going on, a lot of things with the shows. I do have another show that is right on the horizon that we're working on, that a certain storm that hit Florida, yeah, y'all know, knocked out the plans for that quite a bit, and we're still working on trying to get that picked up. It may or may not start up this year. It may start up the beginning of the year, but we're going to start doing a wrestling show. I will have a co-host for that. We will have wrestling guests on, and I mean as in entertainers, wrestlers, referees, promoters, let me see, wrestling, I guess you'd call them owners, circuit owners, all kinds of things. But we're also going to be talking about, current events that are happening within wrestling as well. It's a big thing that I'd like to get into. There's a lot of information that's in there. There's a lot that's going on, and there's a lot of potential for a lot of the smaller networks to get more of that exposure as well. So I'm kind of thinking of it along the lines as with indies. If you get enough of a spotlight on there, you never know what can happen, because one voice can be carried, a little bit of a distance. You get enough voices over there to carry over, there's no one that can deny what they're hearing at that point, and that's what we'd like to do as well. So it's all about, trying to work on getting more exposure for more people that are on there. And yes, in the works, already been spoken about, and we're working on trying to get some things planned out. I actually have a couple of promoters already lined up and scheduled, a couple of wrestlers that we're working on that have gotten locked in, a couple of other ones that I'm really trying to lock in, grails, if you would, from whenever I was growing up in wrestling. We're going to start seeing people that I grew up watching whenever I was a little kid, so I'm going to be fangirling something fierce. So hopefully I can hold it all in for that. But yeah, we'll definitely get with Joe and get him involved in that. But also in the news of things that's going on, and this will be brought up, of course, on the Celebration show on Friday, but I just want to let y'all know because I can't hold this in any longer. I can't say what show it is. It is a small convention show that'll be held next year in August, which happens to be my birthday month. But I am being brought in as one of the featured guests that'll be there. Um, I am overly ecstatic. I will be able to broadcast live from there, cover the event, interview people that I have talked to for almost 4 years now within the industry, and then several others as well that are in there, and have a blast with it. We're looking forward to it and preparing for that as we speak. And that will be just 2 months after our wedding. So we will be newlyweds as well at that point, going to the event and covering that. I am incredibly excited about that. And as I am able to discuss more in detail, I will, and I will let everyone know so that we can get as many of y'all planning to attend as possible. I can't even say exactly where it is right now because I don't want to give away too much on there. But rest assured, I will give all the information, make sure I can see as many of you as I possibly can. I'll also be reaching out to quite a few of you because I am helping to book people into this particular con as well, which has been a ton of fun. So I'm having a blast with this. It's all about fun. It's all about doing what you can to make a difference and leave your footprints there. And, well, got size 14 extra wide, so they're leaving pretty good sized footprint there. Might as well go ahead and leave footprints, different areas if I can. So we're doing that. So with the shows, let me ask you, with Hell of a Show, it is going to be once a week. There's no way I can really change that because I've got to have somewhat of a life. And I'm going to tell you right now, if I take any more time away from Lady Trish, she's going to have it where I marry y'all instead of marry her. And I hate to say this, and I don't want to be rude about this or anything, but she's very pretty, and I want to stay with her. Not saying y'all are ugly by any means, because that's not the case. But damn, I got priorities again, and she'll be watching this later, so I want to make sure she's the right answer on these things. But Hell of a Show will be once a week on there. I want to do the show like I was talking about earlier, making it fun, making it interactive, making it interesting, making it unique, for the guests and all that'll be on there. But I am thinking about going ahead and doing once a month on Hell of a Show, going ahead and doing a special show where it'll be a panel discussion show that we'll do something on there. We will have a topic of discussion that we'll bring up, and we'll have a group that I pick up there to go ahead and have discussion and make it interactive with the audience as well, of course. We just had one that was very interesting, entitled Readers versus Collectors, and it went over really well. I had a little inkling of doubt that I was really hoping we weren't going to push into that whole negativity thing because my 4 rules that I have for my shows. We did not by any means. In fact, it was very informative, and some of the views did not mesh. And there was even a couple of times where even my guests were like, well, I don't agree. However, this is my opinion. This is what, and it was fine. There were no chairs thrown. There was nothing. It was great. That being said, I would really like to go ahead and continue doing that. What I'm thinking about doing, though, is having where I have Hell of a Show once a week on its regular night, which will be on Mondays. It'll be live. That'll be starting on Halloween night. That'll officially be the first night with Hell of a Show live on Mondays. And then we'll do this panel show once a month on a different day. And that'll be determined depending upon, when I can get all of the guests to agree on there to be on and sit in there. So what do y'all think about that? Let me know in the comments if you think that's a good idea to go ahead and have the panel show on top of Hell of a Show, or what do you think? What are your thoughts on that? Also, are there any topics that you can think of right hand that might be some good ones to throw on there that you want to go ahead and put in the comments? And this is not just strictly for live right now. If you're watching this later on, you can be watching this and put the comments in there, and I'll be checking them as well. Aside from that, What's in Your Watch List is about to end the first round of shows that I've gone ahead and reviewed the entire seasons of the shows. She-Hulk, Attorney at Law, Andor, and Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power pretty much look like they're all ending just about the same time. I will be picking 2 shows to do per week. 3 shows was really pushing it. So I'll be picking 2 shows. If there's any 2 shows that you can think of right offhand that you might like to see me doing a review on and what's in your watch list, let me know. And I can see what I can do to make that happen. Mike says your panel shows were often fun. Exactly, because it brings in different points of view, different perspectives. Like I said, as long as there's no chairs thrown in there, we're good. And as long as the 4 rules are recognized, we're good as well. And this panel show that I had was actually really good. I mean, it was kind of like we were waiting for the punchline to a joke, because we started out with a store owner, a publisher, and a writer, all walk into a podcast. But it was interesting because they all had different views on what all was going on. And it turned out being a really good show. We had a lot of fun with that. But you're going to start seeing a lot of ventures where I'll be working with other people on some things that are out there. I have to keep hush-hush on a lot of things. You're also going to see where I'm going to start announcing we have official sponsors for shows right now. Absolutely ecstatic about that. You're going to start seeing some new artwork, some new intros, some new things like that, just to keep it more fun and inventive, where everybody wants to be a part of what's going on. If there's anything else that y'all are wanting to see, if there's any other kinds of shows that you think that you would like to see from me, let me know in the comments. Let me know what you're thinking of over there, and we'll see what we can do to try to incorporate them, or do special shows at times. We could do that as well. But I just don't want it to be the infomercial shows that it was kind of turning into for a little while. It needs to be more about the creators or the people that I bring on, whoever the guest may be, whether they have a creative project in the comic industry, whether they have it in a different industry, anything like that. It doesn't matter. We need to find out who they are as people, as humans, and what they're bringing to the table, and why they even do it in the first place. And the angry one is here. Let's see. My question is, I see a lot of you guys on podcasts asking who you should have on shows. So I was curious, why don't you guys always start with the people that are on your friends list? Now, okay, that is a great question. And I will say this right now. I actually reach out to a lot of people on my friends list through Messenger and all. And how do I put this? I'm trying to do this without being negative, because I don't allow it on my shows. But sometimes it gets to the point where they'll agree, and then all of a sudden you got it scheduled in, you're ready to go, and then it comes up to time for it, and then I'm scrambling to find someone else to go ahead and take the place, because they either forgot, they didn't put it in their schedule, they have something else come up, they just don't have time in general. There's things that happen of that nature. That's why I'm trying to schedule so far in advance and get things locked in. We're using our email to go ahead and lock things in even more, so I can keep track of all, and then send the reminders as necessary to the people. But I'm gonna tell you right now, Angry One, you want back on the show, it's a done deal, because we had a great show before. I think I've had you on twice, if I'm not mistaken, in the past. And you've got a lot going on your side that I would love to be able to discuss, because it's beyond just the artwork now. You're actually creating quite the little venture over there. So I definitely want to discuss about that, and some other things in general that's happening with you. So we can definitely work on that. And I think other people would like to see you back on the show as well. And again, it's not only the one-on-one shows, but we can do the panel style shows. If we see that it's a good fit to have someone on there that the opinions can kind of generate more interest and more education in the topics that are on there, that's what I like it, doing as well. But that's how I answer your question with that, William, is just sometimes that's what I was going through on there, and that's why I was going through it. But it gets to the point where they agree and then no show, and it's almost like, well, I know we're friends and everything, but you still have to follow through, because even as friends, I still have to do this. People are expecting this, and to keep that consistency going, it definitely has to happen. So now I'm having to have a plan A, plan B, plan C scenario. So if someone doesn't show up, I've got plan B to plan C, and so on and so forth. And He says, yeah, because my thing is I want to listen to more podcasts and I want to watch some of you guys, but I mean, I want to see people actually talking about comics, and especially from the indie world. Exactly. Exactly. Um, but I want it to be more than, like I said, more than just an infomercial. I want to actually discuss the mechanics of some of the things that are being done. Um, we even want to have something where we're going to start working on where we're going to bring in people who have no idea what crowdfunding is and go ahead and start having a discussion about that, panel discussion, where they can learn more about it little by little. So hopefully we're able to bring more of the fans over. We're not fan based enough on some of my shows, and I want to start really appealing to that so we can bring more of them over so they are making decisions and seeing all the different things that are available over there, and hopefully be able to support as well. As far as the creators are concerned, we definitely want to give them their time to discuss their projects and all. But like I said earlier, I don't want it to be completely about just an infomercial style. I actually want to know who they are, why they do what they do, the passion behind it. And then, of course, I will be firing away with just random questions just to have fun with it, to not only keep the guests on their toes, but to keep the audience on their toes. Because if they come in expecting the exact same show every single time with a different guest, that's not exactly what they're wanting to see on there. And I want to change it up. So I'm definitely going to do something to change that up. Uh, it's going to be a lot more fun. It's going to be a lot more, like I said, it's interactive is what I want to go with on this. I want to get more people talking, more people joining in on what's happening, because the more interaction that's there, the more energy it creates. The more energy that's created on there, there's no telling on what level of support they're going to put on everything that they see. And again, it costs absolutely nothing to use the power of the finger, hit that share button. And if we can get more people just using that much support on there, so much more of the spotlight would be on the indies than it is right now. And we definitely need that. But yeah, I mean, that's great that you've got that set up on it. You were talking about that, William, because that's exactly what I'm wanting to do and how I'm wanting to have that set up with there. But definitely a lot of things that I'm working on the horizon that we're wanting to change up, add to, evolve to on the shows. And you may see, like I said, the new wrestling show is definitely going to be happening. You may see a new show that'll be starting up on here, which will actually have me to the point where I am loaded up, where I'll be having almost a show per day that'll be available, uh, if I'm able to get the ones that I want out here to get done. But that also requires, because I won't be doing it myself, I'd like to have co-hosts for a couple of these, because it kind of helps with the workload on there and finding out and researching and getting people locked in for things. But not only that, but whenever I'm sitting up here doing the shows, it gives me something to bounce off of and not just my own voice going back and forth in an echo format, waiting for the guest to answer. It's good to have that rhetorical back and forth, thing we got on there. So just kind of looking at some different things there. We've been doing a lot of research with the metrics to find out what's going on and what people are looking at. And that's another thing we're really trying to base on as well. Shows have swayed us back to Kickstarters before. Exactly. And the thing is, though, and this is going back to, I'm going to give the credit to Larry Higgins, Niobe Comics. He gave me the moniker a couple years back of the Johnny Carson of indie comics hosting. Now, this is not to give myself a pat on the back by any means, because that moniker scared the hell out of me. Not going to lie. You give somebody that kind of moniker and give them that name, there's a lot of responsibility that's on your shoulders at that point. The problem is that whenever I was moving forward, I swayed away from that, and I really want to get back to the point where that is the case in there. What does it mean to be the Johnny Carson of indie comics hosting? How does that actually play out? Well, if you look at what Johnny Carson used to do, he wasn't an infomercial guy. He didn't get up there and he wasn't selling everything that came through there by any means. He would talk about movie reviews. He'd have he would have products. He would have things like that up there, but he would always make it fun. He would always make it interactive, and he would always make it genuine and memorable. It would be unique. That's exactly what I want to do with my shows moving forward, is have it set up that way, and that's what I'm trying to be doing up to this point. You really see it on Friday with the Milestone show. But that's something that I definitely want to move through and show, is that we can have different shows on there, different guests, different things that are happening, and it won't be the same cookie cutter episode every single time. If it's good enough to show who these people are, what they believe in, and the passion that they put into this, and it seems genuine on their end, then it'd be no problem. These people will go ahead and move straight over to their crowdfunding and back them up any way that they possibly can. And let's see. William says, yep, damn shame. The lack of shares that we yeah, get 3,000 to 4,000 friends on Facebook, and you see 10 to 15 people sharing content, but yet some super well-known artist that doesn't have a clue, fans post something and gets it shared like crazy, or some political bullshit. Yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. So that's what I don't want to see happening by any means. On my shows, I want to put it out there. I'm going to throw out a demonation challenge on these things on every single show that I want to see these shares out there. Honestly, I want to see more people sharing what's going on. It's not a matter of sharing out my show because I'm going to become a millionaire from doing this. I don't want anybody to think that me doing this is my Pinky in the Brain plan of taking over the world someday just because I can do this and make money off of it. That's not the case. Even whenever I become monetized, it just means that more taxes will come out than I can actually pay for. So we're not even pushing for that as of yet. But it's all about getting that exposure and that spotlight on the indies, because just like William said, 4,000 to 5,000 people in your list, 10 to 15 active, consistent shares, the numbers are not consistent with where they should be on there. And there's no real mathematical answer as to why that's happening like that. So we're going to go ahead and make sure that the energy is there in the shows to have everybody excited and upbeat and ready to go ahead and hit the share button and share out not only the show, but I'm going to go ahead and make sure the links are embedded like they always are in the feeds, and have them share them out and then get excited about it. And then we'll bring up their point of view on the show and get them on almost like a virtual guest at that time, give them the hot seat in a virtual way on there. And somebody left the door open. Dell's in here. Brett, that's your fault. I only see some shows when I get tagged now. I agree. Now, a lot of that also is because of the algorithm. I'm going to tell you, the bots on a particular platform owned by Skynet, which we will name no names, is blocking most all of that right now. If you mention Kickstarter, if you mention KS, if you mention any other platform on there and you start showing links on there, it will drop you in a heartbeat. It will drop you to the bottom of the list where you're barely seen unless somebody goes searching for you or if you get tagged. So yeah, it's definitely something like that. And I agree, Dale, same thing. I've got William stuff up on there, and actually on the follow list, I've got it where I've got as a priority. He's one of my priorities in the list. And even then, I don't see things. And then all of a sudden, it may be a day or two, I'll see, it's 2 or 3 days later that this thing was, put out there, and there it is. And I'm like, what is going on? Why am I just now seeing this thing that's coming up there? The other thing is that the at everybody is being way overused. And not by one person in particular by any means, but so many groups, so many people are doing that to the point where it's like I can't keep track of the 15, 20 people that just add everybody to me. So I can't go back and look at that, and then it just gets buried underneath all of that. So the add everybody is really being overplayed, and that's something that I wasn't incredibly happy about whenever I saw it come through, because it just makes it too easy to just throw it out there as a blanket statement. And I can't stand blanket posts. You need to have something that makes it unique to the particular group that you're sending it to, or to the person. Don't just blanket post. That just means that you're just kind of throwing out there. It's like throwing flyers on a car whenever you go to a parking lot or something. What does everybody do whenever you get a flyer on a car? You take it off the windshield and throw it on the ground, and it's done. Well, no, of course you throw it in the trash or recycle like you're supposed to. I don't know who would throw it on the ground, but yeah. So you want to make sure that that's actually taken care of. The issue thing that we're not talking about is about people sharing every single thing that gets posted and sharing it every single day. We're talking about how hundreds of people never share anything, how creators who we help promote and who we do things for mention don't bother to return the favor. That's the problem most of us are upset about. You have a legitimate gripe on there, because I have seen more people that collaborate on things. They really need to look up the definition of collaborate before they go ahead and agree to these things. To have their project thrown out there and pushed out there by as many people as possible that are involved in this collaboration, good, great, wonderful. But there's a second part to that equation that's on there where they go ahead and return the favor. And I've definitely seen where people are going ahead and dropping the ball on that. So that needs to change. But it also needs to be where we have more of a we need more of a space where we can put things on there and it gets more notice and more push off of it because there's more energy in the space where it's put, if that makes any sense. And that's kind of what I would like to get to as a goal. Demonation had potential for doing that before, and I would like to get back to doing that to where people will go ahead and post directly up on there, and as soon as they see it, it's just an automatic. Everybody that's on there, go ahead and share it out as much as you can, put it in the groups that you've got, and everybody move everything around. It's almost like a shell game. You never know where you're going to find the uh, the nut underneath there until you go ahead and start picking up the cups. But let's see. Hang on, we got comments over here. Only friends share my podcast, and I see who shares, so I make sure to share out their stuff for sure. And that makes sense. I agree with that, absolutely. Oh, we got a stowaway here. And no, you're not hijacking my show by any means. You're just venting, and no problem because you're allowed to vent. That's not an issue at all. And that's one thing that I like about this is you're coming on here. This is not one of those things where you're breaking any of the 4 rules by any means. You're simply venting and you're getting a discussion up there. Oh, you just want to get it there on camera. Now you're done. Okay, fine. Be that way. Just use me for my camera. I see how it is. See if I collaborate with you later. But you got to have fun. But I do. I want to make this fun, and I want to make it interactive and make it where it's more of a collaboration in a larger scale. There's all kinds of things that are going on. I can't even keep track of everything that's going on because it gets buried so much in other things that are happening. So I do definitely ask that if you have something, drop it in over on Demonation or on Dark Entertainment, because at least I'll get the ping from there saying that something's been dropped. I can go look at it and then I can share from there. Not an issue at all. I have no problem doing that. One thing we'll talk about 100% wanting to call out people but won't do it themselves. Yep, I hear you. And usually have to look for you guys on Wednesday night. You're talking about Dell. Even whenever I see that Dell is going live, like it'll say that he's planning on going live. The actual one used to, it was just simple because he's one of them that I follow again. That's on my top follower thing, priority deal, and it still won't show up in the top of the post anymore. I get the freaking Facebook ads and I get anything else in the top of the post, and it throws me way off on the algorithm of trying to find anybody in there to find out what's going on. And I apologize, but I can't keep track of everybody's time frame on when all of these shows are. I am getting older and very forgetful, and that is what I am holding on to with that. Yes. And that's why I added you in the group chat with Calvin Chambers. And I definitely appreciate that because that is something that I'm working with him on trying to get his project going. Because it does. Sometimes you need that extra voice and that extra help with something. And I don't have answers for everything. I'm going to tell you right now, and this is being put out here live and on the internet, therefore it's true, but I don't know everything. Now, according to what my fiance knows, I know everything, but that's a whole different story. But if I don't know it and I can try to help find out something, I am more than happy to do that. But it does go back to what William was saying earlier about the collaboration deal, because respect gets you respect. That's the way I look at it. Is if somebody's going to go ahead and share my stuff and make sure to share the people that I share out and the people that I work with and all, then I'm definitely going to work with them on sharing their things out as well. It needs to be a one hand washes the other scenario, because if you've got a one-sided deal, it'll start putting a bad taste in your mouth after a while. And we definitely don't need that, because there's enough of us in the indie community that could really, really add some serious damage to the spotlight coverage that we've got out here, and really start screaming at everybody that we're here and what we have available to look at. And no way to keep track of anyone. That's why that doesn't bother us. Even people when they're occasionally on tunes in, proud to have any other interaction. We're just frustrated over the ones that never do, or the people who never return the favors. Exactly. And like I just said, William, the respect gets respect. I mean, that's if you're going to ask for the respect or you're going to ask for the collaboration, then be ready to go ahead and put in your time on that too. But on top of that, why are we doing this as a, I'll share this out if you do something for me? Why not just share it out? I mean, it doesn't cost you anything to do that, honestly. And like I said, don't do the blanket shares. Just do something where if you're going to do a share for William, honestly, if I were to do something like that, I would honestly put something like I usually do, where it's like something new from the Angry Artist. I mean, it's just really quick, really easy, really simple, but it's something that it's no longer a blanket post. It's something totally different. And oh, Max is in here, Atrocity Press. Max, we're just talking about some of the stuff that's going on with the shows, as far as what I've got going on, what I will have going on. Again, excitement about Friday coming up. Y'all just gonna have to get over seeing my ugly mug on here up until that point, because it's gonna happen. But I've been recording some other shows and getting those pre-recordeds done throughout the day. I've got a couple of pre-recordeds for tonight. I've been incredibly busy and just looking at some opening up for topics of discussion that you'd like to see on future shows that would be available. And none of this is competition anymore. Social media creating such a large platform, there's room for everyone. You're not going to lose food money from your table by sharing. Exactly. This, yes, so much yes. It is not a competition. It's not like if you share somebody on there that you're going to be like, well, crap, I'm not going to be able to pay rent next month just because I shared one of these things. No. If anything, it makes you look genuine, that you actually believe in the passion that's in the industry and the community that is in the industry, and it'll kind of build up from there, definitely. And oh yeah, Yeehaw Friday, definitely yeehaw, hell yeah, yeehaw, and all those other good. Yep. I used to get notified when Williams rant every time, not anymore. And agreed, I completely agree. I used to get those as well because I like watching those, especially whenever he's driving around. And sometimes he'll go off tangent, sometimes he'll have a good topic on there. It just depends upon what's happening and who's getting interactive, because he goes off of that. And I don't get those anymore. I actually have to scroll through and find where that's coming up on there. A lot of people are still in the same mindset of, oh my God, I can't share other people's stuff. They might take my fans or business. Exactly. This is not pre-social media days. Enough room for everyone to be at the table now. Exactly. In fact, we even just had, whenever I had the show that we were talking about, the Readers versus Collectors, that panel show that I had last week, one of my guests that was on there, Cesar Morales, is actually a part of Dell's show that they co-host over there, along with Brett, along with, oh, Dell, correct me if I'm wrong on this one. You got Steve. I don't know if Peckman's actually a co-host over there, and I'm missing somebody else. But Comic Fanzine. And Caesar asked me straight up, before we even went into the show, he sent me a message and said, is it okay if I promote, that I'm on this other show as well? And I was like, are you kidding me? Of course you could promote. That's one of those things that I'm not feeling threatened by this by any means. And it would actually kind of put me off a little bit if you'd have been on the show and not mentioned about being on there. Because this is not about me. This is not about what I do. This is about what I have to offer in giving a direction to get things done. Whenever I talk about throwing pebbles in the pond, I mean, yeah, I'll point in the direction. That's the pebble that you need to, use over there. That's the pond over there. Throw that in there and let's get these waves going and get those waves of change going. If that means that I got to go ahead and point over there and say, Dell's got this show over there, y'all need to go check this out, see what's happening. You'll laugh your asses off at some things that are going on. You might even learn some things at times. Then by all means, go over there and check it out. By me saying that, does that mean that I'm no longer going to have any viewership on any of my shows? Not at all. But by me saying that, does that mean Dell and the other ones that are over there now feel like, hey, it's pretty cool, and we'll actually share out, Phil's stuff whenever he has it going as well? Now, do they feel obligated to do so? Or better yet, the question, should they feel obligated to do so? Absolutely not. This is a human thing. This is one of those things that if they do it is great. But that also means that if they didn't, that means I'm not over here obligated to go, well, I got to share out all their stuff now just because it just has to happen and I'm the better man in this and have to go forward. We're all human. And that happens, that you actually have to go ahead and sit down and go, I can't share out everybody's stuff anymore because they're not doing anything on my end. And I need the viewership to expose for my guests as well. then it becomes a one hand washes the other. But if we all kind of work together on this, imagine how much bigger that spotlight can be. And it has gotten that big before, and we can definitely do it again. Once we've proven we can do it, we can definitely do it again. He's driving in the Suburban and he's ranting, and then shows a little road rage. Exactly. That's exactly, yep. And that's not even why he's called Angry Artist. I mean, I post to 3 areas: my page, art page, and art group. No clue how people don't see some of the lives or posts. That is a meta change on there. I'm going to tell you right now, Meta officially took over. What has it been, about a month now? And the changes that are on there are just overshadowing the little guys so freaking much. So yeah, it's definitely maybe unfollow is on or notifications turned off. I mean, it could be that, but also I know whenever Meta took over, they changed 2 of my notification settings on there that I had no idea, and I had to jump over there and fix that. Oh crap, she's watching. So make sure everyone knows that the topic of the day is how beautiful my fiance is and how much I love her and how much I would go ahead and choose her over the comic industry any day whatsoever. That was exactly what we were talking about. So make sure everybody pushes that to her as well. And Dell isn't on friends list. Oh, I'm sure he is. So let's see. Who would be? No, never. My other account gets different notifications. That is something else, Dell, is I get very confused on your accounts. Your Dell Guzman Jr., Dell Guzman Jr., Jr. I don't know. At some point we got to go ahead and when we start putting, like, different pictures up there with a cross through them, saying, we look at it and going, nope, we know that one's not working anymore. Moi? Full of crap? No. No. Everyone can vouch for me on here. Just don't listen to Dell. He'll lie about it. No. Wow. That just, I don't have the words. Fidel Guzman. Nope. Not going there. But, and this is great that we're having this discussion and we're able to talk about this. And this is definitely something, these are the kind of things that we want to kind of bring up and have discussions about and be able to talk about too. You also want to be able to challenge the different guests that are up there with questions. It can't always be just the questions that I bring up. You need to have some other things that you want to bring up on your side as well, so that they're able to go back, if it's not live, because not everybody can be on live, so I'm not going to push everybody on that. But if you're watching the post shows, then you can definitely get on there and ask the questions, and the guests can go back and answer it from there as well. And I know most of them would be happy to do that. And got to get back to work. Hope you have a great day. You too, buddy. I certainly appreciate it. Thanks for being here, and thanks for being interactive with all this. And I will be reaching out to you. We need to discuss about, there was another project that you were working on that I was going to discuss with you about. We will get with that. I'll send you a message probably tomorrow, because I'm a little more free tomorrow. But I reshare Facebook posts from phone, but only go to Kickstarter share when on computer. Okay, that makes sense. And I do get you on that, because there's more things that you can do from the computer than you can from the phone on some instances. And for me, I just get confused as all get out with some of the things that show up on there. Plus, I don't want to accidentally send somebody to a wrong link simply because my phone decided to not long press long enough, or whatever the case may be, to hold it in there, and they end up going to a totally different site they're not supposed to. And no, Dell, not one of those sites. What I do on the weekends is my own business. $20 is $20. But it's all about fun, and that's what we want to continue doing on here. The shows are in full swing, having a blast on there. Hell of a show is having a blast. We're looking at doing more with that. Unscripted After Dark is going to be, I mean, just completely off the chain. I don't even know how to explain it. There is no tether, no leash to it, shall we put it. You'd have to watch, be there with an open mind, and be ready to click that button that says you're 18 or older. Yeah, it's definitely going to be locked down pretty tight for the content that'll be on there. And I appreciate that, Thomas, absolutely. And Oh, well, yes. Okay. Free time as in before you get off work is what I'm saying. No, I'm not saying, I've already got you penciled into the calendar. Um, you already emailed and you didn't send it in triplicate like you were supposed to, but you emailed, so I'll let it go this time. But you need to make sure and send it in ahead of time so I know when I can put your time down on there. Because if you don't put it in time, I'm sorry, but I've got a schedule to keep. And this is the last day I'm engaged because of that statement. uh, and Dale said on this one, okay, because he likes and follows bait. Okay. So, again, it's just all about having some fun, getting some information out there, the topics that we can have that'll be coming up on there. Send me messages, or I'm going to be putting posts on a regular basis asking for information on there, getting interactive comments going, maybe even doing a poll every once in a while, and find out what's going on, and uh, and find out what's happening, and where we need to push forward on that. I'm laughing at the comments over here. We're friends on this one now, and you better if you know what's good for you. Better not be threatening me. I know who's boss in this household. Tell you what, I know who wears the pants. Wait a minute. Technically, that would be her. Okay. Anyway, love, beautiful. Anyway, and that was to Trisha, not Dell. Dell, don't get excited whenever I say I love you. Uh, but we're looking forward to a lot of fun, a lot of education, a lot of interaction, and just want to know, get a pulse from the fans and the followers out there on what's going on. But there is going to be a major shift to get everybody to start swaying over to the YouTube channel. I'm telling you that right now. Again, this is not so I can retire from being monetized or anything, because that's not going to happen for a very freaking long time of being monetized. And the retiring part is even longer than that. I think I'll have to go through about 4 or 5 more lifetimes at least. But we're going to have a lot of fun in the process of doing so. It's just all about getting that spotlight out there, getting the exposure out there. So let me see. What'd you put? When you like a page, doesn't mean you're following. I just found that out. Exactly. Well, it used to automatically make that, but that's a meta thing on there now. And they changed a lot of that and reverted a lot of those. I don't know how they do it randomly or whatever through there, but yeah, so that got completely changed on there. Oh, we're calling in the posse. Oh boy. I'm getting to the point where I'm fixing to end this anyway, but they can come in and they can watch the post on this, and then we can definitely have discussion. But I definitely need to get back over there on y'all show, Dell, and we can have more of a discussion as well, and kind of go through some things. But it's all about just making it where the show is going to be about your guest and what's happening on there, and just making it interactive and fun. So, hell of a show coming up to the 100th episode. So freaking excited about that. That will be this Friday at 8 p.m. Central. This Friday, 8 p.m. Central. My guest will be Rob Multari, and Mog Park. I swear, it's just coffee. And then we'll be talking about their project Snowpaw 2. And then directly following that show, because I will give them their time. They will have their time to speak about their products, and we'll have their time to get to know them and all. Getting excited about the milestone and everything. That's the celebration show, which is right afterwards. Take about a 10 or 15-minute break in between there so I can get more coffee, go to the restroom, whatever I need to do. And then we come back on. We're going to have the celebration show. That'll be around 9-ish p.m. Central. And that is on Friday as well. Don't miss out on that one. That's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have revolving seats on there where you can sit in there. If you've been a past guest, tell me what you thought about your past experience. And then please let me know what you would like to see happen in the future for the show. I think it'd be a fun way of kind of getting some different perspectives out there on what's going on. And then, of course, Saturday is Unscripted After Dark. So if you're not scared of the dark, yeah, check that show out. And if you're not sure exactly what it is, there is a small show that I did yesterday talking about it. Y'all can jump over there, see what's going on, and make your assessment from there if you want to go ahead and jump on that show. But you have to be 18 or older. We won't use just parents' approval on this one. You have to be 18 or older to watch the show. But we're going to go ahead and drop off from here and thank everyone for being here. I certainly appreciate every one of y'all for being in here and being interactive today. Just make sure, if you will, to like, subscribe, and share today. Go over there to the YouTube. If you don't know what it is, just look on my profile. You'll find it directly at the top. Demonation Sensation on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the content going on. And I am still dropping the 31 Days of Halloween ranked movies on there daily, are being dropped on there, where not only do I tell you what it is, but I actually get on there and do a short video talking about the general synopsis of it and why I chose it in the position that it's in. And some of them may actually surprise you because they are not the cookie cutter movies you would think they were going to be. So again, thank you for being here. Certainly appreciate it. I'm looking forward to many more times of being able to get up here and chat with y'all. But I also have to spend some time with my fiance, because otherwise she will no longer be my fiance, and that'll just make me sad. And then I'll have a lot of time on here to be able to talk to y'all, and that's even more sad. I couldn't resist. Thank y'all, though. Appreciate y'all. Hey, I love y'all as a community, and looking forward to many more past 100. So until then, keep it into y'all.